Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Good to see you. For those of you who don't know me, Rosanna here, this time broadcasting live from Ehina, Aya Marina Island, with my beloved Ian. And since I last saw you, I have got married. So I'm here on honeymoon. And basically, there's a lot going on at the moment. We've got a very, very powerful full moon ahead of us on Wednesday, this full moon in Pisces. It's very much linked to Christ consciousness, and I'll talk a little bit more about that, because what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be loving up the parts of us that like to control things in order to feel safe, and creating a global healing as well, so that we can allow the truth to come to light that is essential for us to make the shifts necessary for us to evolve out of a paradigm of fear into a paradigm of love and trust. And that is what we're co-creating. So those of you who are joining me for the first time, welcome. If you like the sound of all of that, then please do subscribe and hit the notifications tab as well, so you know every time that I'm live. And what this is really about is working with you to help live as your highest truth, to help turn everything in life to the highest good of all. And this is how we connect with Christ consciousness. So anyone who is here, please say hello. I'd love to know who's joining me. And what I usually do, so you know, is I take the first 20 minutes or so to talk about what's going on energetically. I'm going to try and keep it brief today because, well, the Wi-Fi isn't entirely brilliant, but also I want to get us into the co-creation as quickly as possible, because this is about creating safety and embracing change and really discovering that that safety that we want is right inside of us. So as we tap into that feeling, that is something that emanates from us, and it shifts our perception of the world around us. Now, lovely to see you, Laura, Anne, and Rennie. Welcome, 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 everybody who's joining. Welcome. And basically, you know, what we really want to be looking at is the symbolism of what's going on at the moment. I really want to put a big shout out to the fact that there was a beautiful march in London and in Berlin yesterday. And just to get the wording right, it was all about uniting for freedom. It's the first time that I've actually seen a march occur or a protest occur where it wasn't anti something or against something. And this is how we are going to move out of duality, how we're going to move out of this idea that something has to be right or wrong, and everything can coexist at the same time, which is the truth of us as multidimensional beings of love and light. But what we do is we energize that which we want to co-create in our lives. So we give our focus to the things that we want to see happen in this world. And in my work with my tribe, so those of you who are joining are often Fearless graduates or Rise members. So these are people who work with me to do my coaching work and then continue with me in my membership. What we are doing is we are co-creating a new reality through living in alignment with our soul's truth. And again, what does that mean? It means evolving beyond living from fear and realizing we are super powerful. We are each co-creating our reality all of the time. So we need to own these co-creations. And at this stage, my friends, we are moving well beyond just the need to love up any resistance that's going on. It is time now for us to command the truth that each and every one of us who is intending the highest good of all and the win-win-win in everything is actually bringing in source energy, is bringing in the Christ consciousness that is well beyond the concept of a man called Jesus. But this is actually about bringing in the energy that allows us to be the change that we want to see in the world, to be the frequency that allows love to reign supreme. And this is something I'm going to read to you from a book called The Jesus Code, which is absolutely brilliant. I love this guy's work. His name is John Randolph Price, and I highly recommend you check him out. But we're talking here about moving beyond praying for things to change and actually just commanding change. Before I do that, can you say that? So this is my beloved. This is my divine counterpart.
Hi everybody.
And we've got to tell you that in our very basic wedding ceremony, wasn't it? Because we didn't even know it was going to be able to go ahead, but we managed to get them to say the word multidimensional 3 times in the ceremony, which I thought that was amazing.
That might be something to do with your multidimensional.
We have got multidimensional rings. This is the rainbow. I don't know if you can actually see it, but I've been talking a lot about the crystalline rainbow codes that have been coming through. So I have those on my ring, and you also have them on your ring, but in a slightly different expression. So we have black diamonds and one little lovely clear one, and mine got all the colors. Yeah, baby. So what do we want to do? Okay, symbolism that's been coming through. Two main things. One has been the Eye of Horus. I've seen several times since I've been in Greece. Now, this is not the evil eye madly thing that we have in Greece. This is actually specifically the Egyptian one, which is linked to the Illuminati as well. And this is going to bring me into what I want to be doing with the co-creation, which is being able to lift the distortions of symbolism and how they have been used through time. Because when I even give you the example of Christ and Jesus, if you can imagine that this great teacher, and we have one in every religion, right, will have been some kind of rebel bringing in a new truth that he was actually persecuted for. And then once he was gone, then the establishment takes the teachings that he had, adapts them so that they are what they want to put out there in order to be able to control through fear. And then as a result of that, we have a distortion of a teaching. Now, again, I don't want to offend anyone who's Christian. I don't want to offend anyone's religion here, but I want all of us to be able to start thinking beyond the blinkered views that we have been given. Any type of education will in itself have a blinkered perception, because you can't possibly know everything. What we are learning to do as multidimensional beings of love and light here on this planet today is to be able to see that everything is coexisting at the same time. And as I said, to choose the line that is most in alignment with truth, with the highest good of all, and the win-win-win. And when you do that, you know you are not operating from your fear programming. You know you are not operating from your ego. And this is what is essential, because the Eye of Horus has been used in a distorted way to take people's power away. But actually, in its original symbolism, it is both protection and it is a symbol of good luck. And we're going to be working with it as we bring the full moon energy in. And we're going to be bringing through the crystalline codes to allow us to fully energize the path of compassion, but also to be able to state very clearly now that each and every one of us who is tuned into this is channeling source truth. Therefore, we command that this truth is what comes to light. And this is us stepping into a whole new realm of co-creating. This is no longer going, thy will be done, thy will be done, I'll hand it over to something bigger than me. That bigger than me is in me. And that's why we're going to activate the Christ consciousness in our hearts, which is the light and the love that allows us to be always, always, always guided by the highest light. And that's what we're doing. So anyone got anything that you would like to share, please do. When I was talking about the Unite for Freedom movement, what was really amazing is that you've got all the different conspiracy theorists out there coming together, uniting basically to say, we are not happy with what's going on a global scale at the moment, even though we might have differences of opinion in terms of other areas here. Every one of us is wanting truth to come to light, and we want to see beyond the system that we currently know. So at the moment, our scientists and our medical people are operating from a blinkered view. They are operating from an allopathic system, which in itself has got lots of wonderful virtues, but it is not the only system. And we need to accept that if we are going to move beyond duality, and we're going to move into a unified consciousness, which is what this was all about, Unite for Freedom, then we're going to need to bring in an awareness of holistic health and well-being. And this goes well beyond just the physical. This is holistic emotional health, mental health, spiritual health, and physical health. And this is what I am basically inviting you to connect with me today to do. Okay, so we're going to be loving up all the control systems, as I said. And I want to say that when I research things, I'm always looking at the standard narrative and I'm looking at the alternatives as well. And I have to say, when I'm reading through the standard narrative, so the things you'll find in the newspapers, the news, and different people's opinions, it all sounds very compelling and it all sounds very credible and logical. You think, well, of course things are as they are. Of course people are getting paranoid and they're just getting a bit too freaked out. But I have 4 different personal examples myself where I've seen how that blinkered view causes problems. In my life, this was to do with particularly the world, because I was working in the world of fertility and pregnancy for many, many years, working with system and seeing the limitations of that system, and also seeing the limitations of the medical people that I was working with and how unwilling they were to actually see beyond what they had been trained in. Now, in the end, what I was doing was taking things back to basics and working with people's pelvises, working with people's ability to breathe, to let go of fear, and to be able to move their babies out their bodies in a way that's very different to just being on a bed and being told what to do. And I saw the limitations of this apparently modern and effective system that we brought forward, that all of the research says this is the gold standard. Same with fertility work. You know, in my world of fertility work, I have a very, very high success rate, which is very different to obviously the IVF numbers that you'll see. Now, okay, my sample is much smaller, but working with people individually and seeing that we need to be selective in how we work with people and not just see everybody the same, because we're not all the same. And when we bring this to our current pandemic scenario and we're dealing with the issues of no, what do they say? There's no underlying conditions. This person's just been, they've just got it and we don't know what's going on. It's affecting everybody and it's all very scary. I'm just going to remind everybody to look into the microbiome and remind you that this is very, very important, because 80% of the immune system is in the gut. And this is something that we already have the research on, but it still hasn't filtered through into our medical systems. So when you start talking or thinking about the big people, and I'll just mention Gates and I'll mention Elon Musk as well, you know, these are very powerful, influential people that have a blinkered view. They're not all seeing. They're not the all-seeing eye. And I would always just look at them. Look how healthy they seem. What's actually going on? Because it seems with wealth, the gold standard is supposedly our, you know, medical achievements, and yet we have so much going on in the world that we already have all of these indigenous systems that have existed for so long, well-being well beyond just the physical, that we need to start tuning into. And the reason that I know that everything isn't just, how would you put it? Why there is some level of control going on here, and if you do want to get into conspiracies, you'd say there is some kind of manipulation going on, is because all of these systems they've tried to take out in the last however many years, 50 years and so on and beyond. And what this means to me is that money, profit, someone's agenda is definitely at the top. And if we can just accept that this is the case, stop arguing as to whether it's happening or not, and understand that all of us are growing and learning to live more holistically, more consciously, and to make better choices, then we can accept everything that has happened and we can move on. I'm not going to go too further into that. The other two were the vaccines. I'm not going to say the word. And the other thing is the cancer industry. All of those areas I personally got involved in and saw the standard narrative and then all of the research that was being ignored because it couldn't be profited from. And this is the point. We have to smarten up and we have to realize that the way things are put forward to us isn't necessarily the way things truly are. There are manipulations going on. We each manipulate in our own shadow self in order to try and control to feel safe. So if we own that in ourselves and we always intend to bring that to light within our own lives, then we'll start to see it in the world around us. What else? So the other symbol that I've got, other than the Eye of Horus, has been the flamingo bird. It's been coming up everywhere. And I've been like, what is this all about? Hey, Costanza, lovely to see you. What is this all about, this flamingo bird? And it's about being bold, being brave, getting out there, like being willing to say, no, this is not acceptable. This is not okay. I am no longer going to just go along with what's going on here because it's too much effort to be able to do something different. I'm going to stand up and be counted. So it makes no sense. The emperor's new clothes. The emperor has no clothes on. These are all symbol words that I'm sharing with you to say, look around, open your eyes. I know I'm probably preaching to the choir here right now, but if you are going to share this video with anyone, it's just to allow this idea that we're not coming in as revolutionaries where we just want to create a problem. We see that there are things going on in the world that don't make sense. And many of us starseeds, I'm a starseed, you're probably a starseed too, have from a very young age been looking around going, this world doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. What's going on? Why is this a priority and this isn't? And the beauty of our now moment is that we are moving beyond that. Okay, we're moving beyond that this world doesn't make sense to how can we start to help make this world make sense? What is the world that we want to co-create, that we want to do? And if we are united in freedom, united in our intention to be sovereign beings, then everybody can live and let live, right? There are some basic code of ethics where we don't hurt each other, we don't hurt the planet, we don't hurt ourselves as best as possible. But we are supported through that. And this is what I believe the Christ consciousness is really about. You may have heard words like Aurora, Sophia, the Christos, okay? This is slightly different to what we've talked about in terms of Christianity and Christ as the version Jesus that people know about. But we're here now to remember that we have these amazing codes running through us where we can choose to be super beings. We can choose to activate our higher consciousness, our I am presence, which is the part of us that is closest to source. It is our soul truth, and we can live from that truth here on earth. How many people are doing it? Not that many, but we are growing in numbers. And if we can keep uniting, do the inner work so that we clear up our own resistance, we recognize that we're not coming from our ego, we do the work we need to, but then we also command that in God's name, in Source's name, we are here stepping forward and saying, this now has to stop. What is going on has to stop. This is not in alignment with the highest good of all. And all I can remember is a saying, for evil to prevail, all it takes is for good people to do nothing. Now, whether you want to say evil is an outside force or just the shadow in you, there's something that shouldn't be, that isn't the highest good of all to keep occurring, to keep happening. It will only occur if we don't step up and demand something different. So today, we are demanding something different. Love you too, sweetie. Okay, I'm just going to read this bit and then I'm going to get us into our co-creation.
We've got to start listening to what our bodies are telling us as well.
What have you got to say on it, darling?
Yeah, we've got what Rozy's saying as well is what we're doing is people have been trying to change from modern for future, all like new is good all the time. But all the cures and everything are there. They've all been there for years. They're all built in our DNA. They're built in the earth. We need to just resort back to going back to nature, looking back at what's actually there in front of us, not what we're being shown all the time. We know what heals us, what makes us work. Listen to our bodies. If the bodies are saying, look, we're hurting, we're not right, we're just not progressing, then what we're being shown and what we're being given out there is probably not working. You know, we've got to start going back to nature again and going, like, we've got all our cures, we've got all we need, and we've just got to start focusing and tuning back into it a lot better. The answer's not in what next tablet you take. The answer is far deeper than that.
The most side effects occur from our current system, right? There is not one pill that you can buy that doesn't have side effects. We've got to wake up to this, okay? This is not tin hat nonsense. This is real, okay? We all have to accept that there is health beyond what we have been taught in the last 100 years, and it's really important we go back to those basics, because when the world is out of balance, that's when these things occur, these freaky viruses, whatever is going on, whether it's made in the lab or not, doesn't really matter. This is a huge wake-up call for humanity. And because these marches are going on now, because all of us are being affected by the potential of restriction for so long on this planet, our movement's restricted, having things forced on us that we actually don't want to happen, it's all there. Okay, it's hanging in the balance. We have to make the decision. It's not going to happen in my name. It's not going to happen in Christ's name. It's not going to happen in Source's name. And my wonderful acupuncturist basically said to me that, you know, we get these crazy things occur, like these freaky, atypical diseases, when we are really out of balance with nature. So we know what we need to do, both individually and collectively. And we're going to really bring it back to that. I'm going to read this out to you, and I'm going to get into co-creation. Apologies, I haven't actually done the cacao blessing, but I haven't got any cacao with me, so I'll do a little one in a bit. And I have got a really beautiful crystal here just to symbolize blank slates. Okay, so we're going to go into that in a sec. Let's just read this bit out. And this is about prayer. So for those of you who've been praying for change, for those of you who've been working with me, practicing spheres of compassion, loving up our resistance, doing the Ho'oponopono, all the different tools that we work with, there comes a point where we need to do one thing more. And this is what I'm talking about. So there comes a time when, after days of struggling to turn things over to our higher consciousness, after releasing all judgment, after forgiving everyone and everything involved, if the roadblock has not been removed, the time has come for us to demand that it be. If we really believe we are one with God, then always waiting on God, always being patient, always turning it over to God as though we have no say in the matter, has to eventually come to an end. Passivity can be a form of doubt. Demand affirms oneness. Demand affirms oneness. We are demanding change for the highest good of all today. That's what this is about. There comes a time when petitionary prayer is a denial of our claim to be one with God. Petitionary prayer always has an intimation of fear, always remains an acknowledgement of duality. At one point, petitionary prayer can be like programming the computer. But to get results, the computer has to be turned on by demand. You turn it on, right? Certainly, if you're operating out of ego and if you have not exhausted all other means, The condition has not been met for your will to be on demand. But there comes a time when you must affirm your union by demanding that a situation break, a healing take place, or clarification becomes present. And this is what we're doing today, okay? We are commanding that, really again, this situation that has been taking over the world with fear, it breaks. All of these systems that have been distorted for so long, the symbolisms that we've been working with have been distorted, have been manipulated. This all has to stop now. We're going straight back to source, hence the Eye of Horus. And love and then demand. Love God by affirming that God is the only power, and then demand that that power, that omnipotence be done because of your joint partnership, because you are taking responsibility for being a co-creator with God. Your prayer should not be thy will be done, as though there is a question or doubt, as though something apart from yourself has to be called upon. It should be thy will is done because I affirm, because I demand it. That's what we're doing. Okay, so we're going to get into our prayer now. We're going to get into our co-creation. Would you like to start?
No, this first.
All right, I'm going to hang out on the other side of the room. Okay, that one actually came from. This was Walter Stark. Okay, in this book, it's quoted from Walter Stark. But let's get up. So, what I'm going to ask you to do is just to rub your hands together, have a little shake. Let's just take a nice deep breath in, stretch the arms up. You can see here I've got two paintings. One's a blank painting. The other one is actually a full moon. How apt. We're going to bring down the full moon energy. So if you just stretch up and just welcome this idea of connecting to the moon, beautiful fullness of this moon in Pisces. Pisces being the zodiac that Christ was said to actually be. And it symbolizes all aspects of the zodiac as one. So this is when all parts of our being get united. Just want you just to stretch through, let your body awaken a little bit, create some space, and then open up your arms, bring that moon all around you, okay? And go back up again, reach up. And bring the hands down to the heart. So you can bring your hands to your heart center. Take a moment to close your eyes. Welcome your breath as the source of all that is. And with your nose, draw a circle in the air in front of you, all the way up, and then going the other way. We have to create the safety within us to feel able to embrace the changes taking place. Now draw your nose down and up. So you are now drawing your connection to source and to the ascending earth paradigm. When we connect to our planet, to planet Earth, I call her Gaia. This is the ascending earth paradigm. And then bring your head neutral. Just for a moment, I'm going to show you the Eye of Horus, just in case you haven't seen it. So take a couple of breaths. Be in the center of your heart. And then if you want to open your eyes and just have a look at that symbol. This is the Eye of Horus. I'm going to suggest you look it up, as well as looking up the spiritual meaning of flamingo birds, because you will have something come through for you there. Now, we are going to take this as our portal to help us connect through the moon and to bring down the Christ codes that are going to allow us to live beyond the fear that so far has been dominating our lives individually and collectively, so we can see beyond the blinkered view. I will be done. Okay, so if you have your magical tools, if you've got crystals around, you want to cleanse them, I'm going to give you a chance to do that in a moment. So I've got mine all around. If you've got your cacao, you can bring it to your heart as well. Let's come back to the centered space of the heart. Taking a moment to allow your mind to become the witness, the observer of this experience. So as we come through this co-creation meditation, which is a powerful alchemical shift, we can come through and utilize this sphere of compassion in such a way that it allows us to truly let go of what no longer serves us. So when you're ready, please repeat after me. I am all that is. I am the one self I am. I am that I am. I am the source of my creations. I am the creator of my reality. I am a multi-dimensional being of love and light. I am sovereign. I am free. I am invisible, invincible, invulnerable, impenetrable, untrackable, and untraceable to anyone or anything of malevolent intent. I am aligned with Earth's ascension paradise timeline. I am my higher self from my divine design timeline. I am God's will. I am a channel of source. I am divine rapture. I am divine sacred union. I am co-creating my personal paradise in alignment with the win-win-win in everything and the highest good of all. I am that I am. Now take a moment. You can place your hands hovering over your crystals if you wish, whatever you want to cleanse. And please either repeat after me or take my command as your truth. I cleanse these crystals and magical tools to renew their power so they can bring peace and harmony and benefit all of humanity. I command that all unhelpful, lower frequency energy be taken to where they can be transmuted into the purest vibrations of love and light, so that only the purest vibrations of love and light exist within these crystals and magical tools for the highest good of all. And so it is, and so it shall be. When you're ready, you can bring the hands back to the heart, to your cow. And I command that I am a channel of source, a pure channel of source, for the highest good of all. And I intend the win-win-win in everything. So just allow the heart to soften, allow your face to soften. Feel a connection in your body with what you are sitting or lying down. Take a moment to feel the gravitational pull of planet Earth, of Gaia. And as you root down through your tailbone, extend up through the crown of your head. Relax your belly muscles. Go right to the end of your out breath and then take a lovely, deep, relaxing in breath, all the way, filling the lungs up. I am safe embracing change. Just say that to yourself a couple of times. Breathe out when you're ready, all the way down through your body. I am safe embracing change. I am creating safety within. I am deeply held. I am supported in all ways. I am safe. Take a moment to imagine a beautiful golden smile spreading across your heart. Smile to your heart. And know that this is an unlocking of a code. This is the unlocking of the Christ light within you. It is also the connection to the cacao diva. And this is the plant medicine that connects us to compassion. And through compassion, it helps us bring balance and harmony wherever we most need to in our own inner being. So feel that beautiful golden glow in your heart. And when you feel ready, just very gently release your hands down. Remember that you've got a sphere of compassion around you. This is your safety space, your safe space that you're creating. And I'd like you to take that sphere and make it as big as you want it. Be as big as the room or the house or the building that you're in. And as you grow it, invite your guides and teachers of the purest vibrations of love and light into the space. And see the golden love light that is emanating from your heart expanding into your energy field. So as it grows in your heart, also receiving it from above through our sun, our local source point. So imagine a golden light shower just flowing down from above. And at the same time, as it moves down through your body, moves around the planet, igniting the crystalline grid. It moves into the center of Mother Earth, and then back up through you, and out through your heart, and the crown of your head, and every chakra that is activated within you. Now, as this golden love light flows and pours forth, the outline of your physical body starts to glow. And as more love light pushes through and beyond your physical body, you see your light body glowing around you within your sphere of compassion. So don't worry if this is hard for you to visualize. You can imagine the sphere of compassion as the full moon surrounding you. The light of the sun's pouring down from above, but also the light of source is emanating from your heart in all directions. And within your sphere, you will either see a 6-pointed star around your physical body or the outline of a diamond shape, 2 triangles of the 6-pointed star, bases connected to each other. So it creates a diamond shape on the outside, as in a diamond in a pack of cards diamond. And release your hands. Welcome this feeling, I am safe within. I am safe to embrace change. I am my higher self. I am safe in my power. Taking a moment to recognize the power that you are, the power that you have, and being willing to see what you cannot see. Being willing to hear what is difficult to hear. Being willing to tune into the one source, love light, all that is. The voice that is this frequency within you. And this you'll see as that rod of light that connects to source and all the way down through your body, around the planet, and straight into the heart of Mother Earth. So you have your own inner lightsaber that will connect right down to the center of the earth. But the way to activate it is to send your love light around the planet. So we invite the Christ codes to be activated within us. We invite the frequencies of Aurora and Sophia as the sacred feminine to the divine masculine, to be activated as codes within us. We are willing to be the super beings that we've come here to be. Our souls fully activated within our physical body. The light codes that are our 12-stranded crystalline DNA. Awakening and embedding so we can embody the frequency of truth beyond all distortion. And now if you feel open to this, you can imagine the eye of Horus well above your head. You can imagine it superimposed over our sun. I'm going to invite now the frequencies that are aligned with the crystalline codes to start to flow through us. So the diamond flame is a frequency of pure, clear love light. It is like a shimmering cascade of diamonds flowing through from the sun, and the original source of all that is, down through our bodies, down and around the planet, awakening this consciousness through the crystalline grid. And then moving into the center of the earth. Now I am commanding on your behalf, on behalf of the collective and my behalf, that any and all patterns of control that exist within each and every one of us, where we seek to manipulate in order to feel safe, we seek to control external forces in order to feel safe, be released now into the sphere that we're going to create in front of us. So I'd like you to create a small sphere of compassion, a replica of the one around you, about the size of a football that can expand to contain everything you're going to release. And so now willingly releasing from our cellular, molecular, atomic, and subatomic memory, and the waves and particles of our quantum field and photon stream, and the physical, etheric, emotional, mental, and astral bodies, and our divine blueprint, celestial and causal bodies. Anywhere there is an imprint of distortion that requires us to control and manipulate in order to feel safe. I'm commanding the full and irreversible release of these patterns of expectation and behavior into the sphere in front. So use your breath now as you breathe in. Gather all of the resistances that is known and unknown, all of the patterns you're aware of and that you're blind to. And as you breathe out, send them from your heart into the sphere in front of you. Again, breathe in. Gather from your ancestors, gather from your history, gather from this now moment and the future. And breathe out into the sphere in front. Everything that makes you need to control others or external forces in order to feel safe. Let it go. Let go of the need to control. Allow the release of the patterns of distortion. And know that what we're doing is we are connecting to our divine truth so we can command change from this highest place. And I've just got a little prayer I'm going to read out to help this. I am that I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. It is my will that every obstacle to a whole and complete life be removed. If there is a false belief in scarcity, I decree that it be dissolved now. If there is a lie made manifest as a physical malady, let truth replace it now. If an error pattern exists from judging others and is out-picturing as strained relationships, I demand that it be eliminated now. If wrong thinking has resulted in failure, it is my will that all such thoughts be corrected now. I am ready and willing to live a rich, whole, loving, and successful life, which is my divine birthright. God's will is mine. So allow now any resistance to these statements to be released into the sphere. Let the sphere expand as much as it needs to. Remember, you've got the crystalline codes flowing down from above. What they're doing is they're moving through the body and they're uprooting everything that is in resistance or out of harmony with these higher frequencies. Everything that's a lower vibration is being lifted up and moved into the sphere in front. And I invite you to release all judgments of right and wrong, all judgments you hold towards yourself and others. Let everything go so that you can be a blank slate of pure source love light. And we allow now all of the projections, the politicians, the governments, the scientists, the philanthropists, the doctors, the multinationals, the media, any and all forms of manipulation and control affecting everything I have mentioned so far, being released into the sphere in front, so we can have truth come to light. We can create an integrated global community, united in freedom. So releasing now any and all desire to control through fear, to be manipulated by fear, to be released from our being so each and every one of us can be discerning. As you feel that release, please also place in the sphere all those you've argued with, all those you feel frustrated by, whether they're aspects of your own being or other people around you. Place all those beings you know that are still in fear themselves into the sphere in front. Invite them to move out of this paradigm of fear. Wonderful. Wow. Well done. Okay, so the citrine flames coming through very much in this crystal codes. Citrine very much connected to joy, abundance, prosperity. So when you're ready, please repeat 3 times. I am the diamond flame. I am the diamond flame. I am the diamond flame. And allow now the codes to come through your being, through the sun and through the eye of Horus, to restore in you everything that is in distortion, everything that is distorted, everything that has been distorted, any ways that you have misinterpreted or have your ancestors have misinterpreted events that have created distortions of truth. We release the agendas. We release the need to dominate in order to feel safe. We release any and all resistance to change. We can allow change to be good. Move those crystalline codes, the diamond flame, through your body. Remember, it's a clear, bright white light, the shimmering diamonds flowing through. Move it through your body, activate your hand chakras. Move it down through your body and activate your feet chakras, your soles of your feet chakras. Move it down through your earth chakra. It's below the surface of the earth that connects to the crystalline grid. Again, release the distortions of truth that have held you in bondage, have held you a prisoner. And do this on behalf of the collective around you as well. Wow, feel that crystalline love light move around the planet. And just like when you bring a white light through a prism, you see the colors of the rainbow. We welcome all the colors of the rainbow flowing through, doing whatever healing is necessary within our own DNA to activate our 12-stranded DNA. Whatever healing is necessary for us to love our bodies, to bring balance and harmony into our emotions, into our psychology, into our physical experience and our spiritual connection to Source. And then sending those crystalline codes around the globe, around the planet, awakening this Christed consciousness within each of us, awakening the God self within each of us that can use our powers safely. And feed now this energy into the center of the earth. So as you see the whole of the crystalline grid light up, which is under the surface of the earth, it looks like the flower of life. Then you'll see that your own inner lightsaber, your connection to Source, will awaken and anchor into the center of Mother Earth, the center of Gaia. And it's almost like a massive firework display. You'll see all sorts of colors and shapes if you're open in your third eye. If not, don't worry, it's happening. You'll feel it as sensations. Just stay in your heart. Keep being willing to release the distortions of truth that exist within you. Any part of your body that's aching or hurting, direct your energy there. And then see that as you've cleared your resistance from your own heart now, the energy of the diamond flame moves into the center of the sphere in front of you. And we love up all of the systems of control. We love up the police force, the army, the air force. We love up the institutions tell us the way things are, that we have to comply with. We release their power over us. We surrender the idea that they have power over us. We release all of the skins that we have held on our bodies, thinking they are our truth. Just release all of the layers of distortion. See what's happening in that sphere now, as everything is being cleared and released. And see now before you a new earth being created. So see that sphere of compassion in front of your face is now a symbol of the new earth that we are co-creating. See a humanity united. See the systems that we have in place being systems that allow every being on this planet to thrive as autonomous, accountable, integral beings. See the 7 or 8 billion people alive on this planet now, living as their soul's truth, awakened souls on this earth. Energize that sphere in front of you with the frequency of celebration, of grace and ease. Have that sense that you can just rest back a little bit. It's safe to let go and trust. And see a planet that is thriving, where all sentient beings are treated with love and respect. Where there is diversity, we have moved beyond judgment into acceptance, into an agreement to live some very basic and simple guidelines that we can all adhere to. We respect our planet, we respect ourselves, we respect each other. Beautiful. So notice the colours that are dominating in the sphere in front of you now. These will be the colour frequencies that you most need to integrate in order for you to feel heart-led, able to focus on being the change you want to see in the world. I'm seeing peridot quite strongly, which is the energy of the beloved. It's a soft green. Whatever colour you're seeing, honour it. Accept it. Beautiful. So we're just going to anchor this before we step into it. So please just repeat after me. Anchor, lock and seal. Recalibrate, align. Balance and harmonize. Be graceful and gentle. Integration and full expression. In my physical reality, in all dimensions of my being, in all space and all time. Thank you. Now create a rainbow bridge. From your heart, see that bridge extending into the sphere in front of you. Now step onto that bridge and see how the sphere in front of you expands all around you to fill up the big sphere of compassion that was surrounding you all along. Just allow yourself to absorb these frequencies of the crystalline codes that come through the diamond flame. What does it feel like to feel so safe in every cell of your being? There's no need to tighten up, to expect stress. Just surrender, let go. I am God's will. I am source of all. I am that I am. I am commanding change in alignment with the highest good of all. I am stepping forward and willing to be counted. I am choosing to be loved. Now remembering the Eye of Horus symbol above through our sun, remembering this is a connection to source of all. Imagine now that the Eye of Horus is also as a symbol right in the center of the earth. And it's in your earth chakra too. And what this allows is for you to feel safe and protected in all ways, being a magnet for your highest. We are heart-led. We know how to step forward, how to act. And we can practice the discernment that allows us to read between the lines and to not take things at face value. Our senses, our feelings, our emotions, we know when something's off, when something doesn't feel right. So allow this very powerful symbol to be a guide and a protector of you, of your God self. So you can step forward like a pink flamingo. Stand up and be counted. Make your voice heard. And feel safe in expressing your truth. Wow, that's it. Wow, well done. That's it. That's it. Whew. So we're restoring the symbolism of source expressed in all ways. to its original blueprint, the divine blueprint that each and every one of us has come here to activate. Just feel that in your body. And feel that there is a strong core line now. I am the will of God. I am the will of Source. I am Source. I am all that is. I am commanding change in alignment with the highest good of all. I am embracing change. I am willing to step forward and be seen. I am commanding that only the highest good of all occurs on this planet. I am ready to see what I haven't been able to see. Just imagine that every human being on this planet right now is having their blinkers removed. Just literally lifting up and off, being carried to the sun. So we can each see through eyes of love. We can each see the truth. It's beyond all distortions and lies. Beyond all manipulation and control. Just take a moment to focus on your forehead, activating the pineal gland now through the crystalline codes. Third eye activation, extrasensory perception activation. I am safe in my power. I am that I am. Okay, so see yourself now as a pillar of rainbow, crystalline love light. And everyone else who partakes in this co-creation is one also. We beam this love light as beautiful lighthouses out for the whole of the world around us to see. We influence through our vibration. We are also willing to step forward and say, not in my name. I am commanding change now. I'm commanding the highest good of all. I'm commanding the end of distortions and lies ruling this planet. For all beings that operate from this space, the lower vibrational space, I'm commanding that you are now on your way to the light. Go to the light. You are not welcome here. Only the purest vibrations of love and light are. And so feel your energy field being lifted. Remember the golden glow that's emanating from the center of your chest in all directions, creating now a beautiful glow around your sphere. And we invite the frequencies of Aurora and Sophia as the platinum flame to create a sheath around your sphere, skin, that allows the purification to continue. And only what is for the highest good of all to be received by you, by each and every one of us. Anything else bounces back. It goes back to where it came from. With love and compassion. Just feel your whole being in alignment. I am commanding on your behalf, on the behalf of our collective, and actually eternal alignment with Source Truth, the highest good of all. I'm commanding now that this process continues until completion. So when you're ready, please repeat after me. Anchor, anchor, anchor. Recalibrate, align. Balance and harmonize. For graceful and gentle. Integration and full expression. In my physical reality, in all relevant dimensions of my being, in all space and all time. Thank you, thank you. Bring your attention back to your heart center. Become aware of the soles of your feet, your pelvic floor. Start to breathe yourself back, breathing that safety into your heart, knowing it's always there. And then when you're ready, come back. Ooh. That was powerful. So, gently bring yourself back. You may want to rub your body and just really get yourself coming back to this space now. Be in your physical self. This is where we are. We're the most powerful here in our physical selves. And remember, we're here to affect change. It's not all a walk in the park, but we can invite grace and ease into every step of our journey. And if you are willing to act as the truth of God, as the source of all that is, to turn over all distortions within you, as we've just done, so you can really claim that as your truth, and you walk forward and always intend the highest good of all. And for anybody who's interested in my Fearless, Empowered and Free to Be Me program, remember that working from a place of fear is the ego. Okay, the ego is the programmed self. So being able to love up the ego, to reprogram the ego, is essential for you to be able to live in alignment with your heart's truth. The way I teach it is through this program and through my super conscious co-creating methods. You can work with me one-to-one or group, and now is the time to talk to me, because I'm setting the next group up to start in September, end of September, which is not far off. We're at the end of August now. So 23rd of September, we're getting going. If you would like to be part of this change, the people that I've seen have the most phenomenal shifts, the people that have just stepped forward. They haven't even known how they're going to do it, how they're going to afford it all, but they've decided that they really want to do it. And that's how they start to see the miracle shift in their lives. Biggest wins. I've seen people go from earning £800 a month to over 10 grand a month. Like seriously, the things that have been going on, true love coming in, all sorts of wonderful things, fertility blocks being removed, life purpose activation, clarity in terms of career goals, and moving beyond those old patterns that keep us stuck in ways we don't want to be in this world. You get a little taster of how you can feel through the co-creation meditations I do here with you on YouTube, but this isn't going to last if you haven't done the deep inner work that's underneath to support it. And so it's so wonderful when the tribe does show up. And my Rise tribe, I've got so much going on with you coming up next. I cannot wait, because we're going to be obviously manifesting a lot in our physical realities. We're going to be looking at creating more prosperity, abundance, vibrant well-being, and deep, loving, fulfilling relationships, because that's what I've got and that's what I want to share with you. Thank you so much for being part of this. Please feel free to share the video with others. It was a really powerful transmission today. There's a lot of different energies to actually bring in. Again, if you haven't yet subscribed, please do. And if you would like to know more about my coaching work, then head over to RozyGlow.com and book yourself a breakthrough call. If you've got any problems at all, just get in touch with me. You can leave me a comment, or you can just head on to the RozyGlow Facebook page, because there's going to be some changes going on in how often I am going to be making live videos on YouTube. But there is a lot more on social media that if you check it out on Instagram and on RozyGlow Facebook, all the updates will be there. Dawn, good to see you. Bless you. So Laura's a recent graduate of Fearless. Life-changing. It does what it says on the box. Anyway, I'm going to go now because it's time for din-dins and I'm on honeymoon. I'm going to go make the most of it. So love you all so much. Stand in this truth. We've got some amazing things going on ahead, like amazing. The world that we are co-creating together is amazing, and it's how we move into the Thrive paradigm. So that's what RozyGlow is all about. This is divine grace. It allows us to let go easily of what no longer serves us, and on that level, I send you all lots of love, and I will see you soon. 2 weeks time we'll have the new moon co-creation, and that will be on the Friday most probably, but just keep an eye on RozyGlow Facebook, as I said. Take care for now.